Hey Zero, it's going to be introduced with Lucklin. Until then we'll have the Blackened Iron, but as soon as Lucklin drops, it should convert to the Picklaw, the Liberated Citadel of Runny Eye, and we'll get all that Blackened Alloy gear. Yeah, it would have been nice. You know, it's crazy, the Blackened Iron armor I think is even worse than Banded. Like, the only benefit is that it's magical and it looks good. Dude, today we're trying to get Garanol Ruxif solo. It's gonna be interesting. I think if I can get him 1v1, I'll be able to kill him. But I think right here a terror spawns 100% of the time, and I can't use my undead nukes on it, so it'll be tough. Garanol will spawn here, or a hag will spawn here. I'm hoping with the increased rares we'll have some pretty good luck with him. But I mean, ideally, if we're not having trouble holding this room, we'll do Garanol enough to get 2 rings and boots. The combat indicator. It's actually right here. You only see it when I'm in combat. It'll light up red. I prefer to keep my UI like pretty minimalist, and the extended target window functions essentially the same as the combat indicator. Like, I know I'm in combat if something is on my extended target window. It's weird that it's not like attached. I actually didn't know that. There we go. Thanks, Hex. So when you enter combat, this one lights up red on the right side. Dude, it feels nice to have the guys. Definitely feels good. Man, so I was moving up here. Garanol was actually up. And I was like right in this hallway, all clear. And I wanted to engage him, but I wanted to stream first. And I had to take my dogs out before I started the stream. So I camped really quick in the hallway there. Came back in, ready to pop the stream and engage immediately. And someone had sniped him. Soothe might be strong enough that if I can soothe the terror that spawns there, I can literally fight Garanol in his corner without getting aggro. We are level 36 now. We have our brand new healing spell. Feeling nice. We've got 4 rubies, though I haven't found Lanuga up to turn them in yet. Hey, it's going really good. Thanks for stopping by again. Yeah, you can get a whole set of large bronze from Najena. The ogres there drop it. It's probably your best bet. Yeah, today we're trying to kill Garanol in the very deepest depths of Unrest. Hopefully it's as successful as yesterday's assassin camp was. This will be interesting because like I intend to camp here for a long time if I'm able to. If like a group doesn't chase me out or I don't die, I want to get 2 rings and the boots. Yeah, the assassin was pretty smooth. Having slow helps a lot. Like we honestly have amassed quite a good collection of like save me items. I've got my DA clicky like for the last case, you know, the worst case scenario. I've got 6 healing potions. I can slow 3 mobs before I run out of Midnight Mallet charges. Hopefully we'll just use all 3 of those on Garanel. But yeah, my biggest worry is this Tentacle Terror spawn here. We have a Festering Hag, so that means we'll have a spawn in the room soon. See, you can see my combat indicators there now. It fills up both spaces. She's spending a lot of time trying to root me. That's good. Our new heal will almost completely heal us in just 1 hit here. Now we'll just IVU and med up. Greater healing is just under a quarter of my total health. I guess when I'm fully buffed, it's actually a little bit less than that. It's like, it's a cool 20% at least. I gain like 20% of my mana every minute, every 10 ticks. So we have less than 2 minutes to full mana right now. Oh, didn't mean to do that. If Garanel pops first, and I don't know which order they were killed in, but if he pops first, I could just pull him into this hall. Oh, speak of the devil. All right, so we have a level 30 terror. I'm gonna try to soothe it and just fight around it. Getting more meditation skill up. I think we probably cap at 180 at this level, so our mana regen will actually get a little bit better. 30 seconds till full mana. Rip, I cast it on a Hag's Corp. Alright, so I guess this is all clear. Oh, they just pulled that. They must have targeted it from the ramp. There's a group in the basement here. Here we go. All right, we got to slow on him. He seemed pretty beefy. I don't think I can do it without slow. Let's do it. He resisted root. I need to hard cast a heal here. He's a little tricky. He will run at 20. I've got to root him. It's going to be tough. Oh, he's not running. Okay, so that's better. Root broke and he's good. All right, we got our first ring. Raw 5 AC gained. Oof, we're encumbered. Guess we'll go that. Oh, you know what? The shield probably weighs a ton. Kind of sucks that we're gonna have to use the mallet on every kill. Hey, thanks Lurker, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we got one Garanel down, 2 more to go, hopefully. Should be easy to get another ring, they're not rare, this is common drop. The boots, you know, we could be kind of out of luck on. Quillmane's just so hard to do as a pally because I can't track, you know? So I think this spawn can only be a hag PH. Yeah, could be a long wait, Ender. Does anyone else remember if Garanel ran? Like, I wonder if it was just a weird bug that he didn't run for us? Or maybe because my HP was pretty low? I seem to recall him running even though he counts as undead. Like it was something weird about him. Wow, that's crazy, Ender. I guess you got that spawn figured out. Good to know, Mumph. We definitely wasted one undead nuke, taking the time to root him. No, it would be considered DSF if I boxed it. Ah, they used to run. Oof, that fizzle. Double fizzle. go ahead and top ourselves off here. I'd rather have full HP in case I need to bail. Yeah, I've never seen him run on TLP, but I've never done Unrest on TLP. I know the rest of the undead don't run. Big Pied, thanks for the cheer, bro. Are you excited for this Saturday? Pied, you missed some crazy stuff last night. We soloed the Assassin and Supplier camp. Had a lot of close calls. We got our Dark Elf mask. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be nice and fun and stress-free because we're not racing other groups. Thank you, thank you. And I think we hit a new peak concurrent viewers with 159 people watching at one point. Hey, Gallo, on Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, myself, Bobby Bick, A Very Loving Robot, Keebs, Pied, and Melusine will be doing a 1 through 50 marathon stream. We're going to be doing it totally untwinked. It's supposed to represent kind of exactly how you would level if the server just came out, you know what I mean? So you'll get to see us level how we would if we were racing to level as quickly as possible, starting from 0. No, there's no way. I can't do Evil Eye. After seeing that Evencon Ghoul Wizard had me down on my last leg. Evil Eye I can't nuke, so he would crush me. So hopefully that basement group just keeps pulling all the stuff. It'll be a little bit safer for us. Yeah, we had some real tense moments last night. But boy, was it a lot of fun. I'm really surprised at how much tougher Garanel is than like Supplier or Assassin. Diva, I haven't soloed a Terror yet. My plan is to soothe one. The one that spawns right here, I think I can soothe it and just kind of ignore him. That's my hope. There's a group in the basement, like in the other basement room, and they've been pulling a ton of stuff. So like when that Terror spawned while I was waiting to soothe it, they came and snagged it. What's up, VGFX, dude? How are you doing? May as well refresh my buffs between spawns here. I'll wait till he's at a full 8 minutes dead before I do my HP buffs. Yeah, dude, Nils, it was crazy. It was very reckless, that's for sure. Afterward, I needed to take a break. I needed to be like, okay, let me do something totally relaxing with no chance of failure at all. Jones, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they're doing all the EXP mobs and stuff. I think maybe I just con red to them, like deep red, and they don't know what level I am, and they just kind of figure it's hopeless. I'm not really killing any of the mobs except for Garanel, so if they're just after EXP, easy day for them. What's up, Whoopa? We're doing good, man. Getting some loot. Got our jagged band. Maybe they haven't realized yet. They were like just moving in when I went down here. And they got they got one Garanel, I've gotten one Garanel. Basically, like, I cleared, I was in this hallway where we're at right now. Garanel and one Terror were both up. But I wanted to do Garanel on stream, so I had some chores around the house basically I had to do really quick. So I camped here, IVU, did them. It took me like 2 minutes. I came back and they were both dead. So I think the group got that spawn. I don't know if this is an 18-minute or if a more like a 22-minute zone. It looks like it is a 18-minute, right? Fortunately, they killed the Terror very fast, and I killed Garanel very slowly. So there's like a little split now. Oh, okay. I mean, it definitely is weak. It's not a tank. It can't take any hits from meaningful content for you, but it could be a really valuable pooling tool, Zero Fac. And I find that, like, if you're able to confirm that it's not going to get hit in the first place, you may as well have it for like a little bit of extra damage. Good evening, Keebs. Thanks for swinging by. Another thing, Zero Fac, is that if a mob, like, let's say a mob's round would be like 80 damage, right? It doubles for like 40, 45-ish even. And it turns and it kills your pet. Even though your pet maybe only had 50 HP, that's 90 damage you didn't take or 80 damage you didn't take. So in that way, it can be valuable. So the terror should spawn next. It'll be light blue or dark blue. And hopefully that group will just come snag it. But if not, I'll just soothe it and move around it. We've only got like 3 minutes on Garnel. So this mob should be any second now, I think. Yeah, we've got less than a minute and a half, I think, on Garnel now, actually. 1 minute, 15 seconds. All right, there's the terror. I'm gonna soothe it in case I have to deal with it. Now, if Garnel spawns, we'll go in. What's up, Superman? It's going pretty well. We are hoping that this Tentacle Terror doesn't aggro us while we kill Garnel. He's doing like 10 seconds. There it is. So dumb. What's up, Setver? Almost there. Hopefully the terror doesn't lose its soothe, or hopefully Union pulls it, actually. He didn't pull it. Only need 2 more casts. Come on, come on, come on. 1 more. got aggro. I will go out here. Do I have enough? I don't even have enough for IBU. We'll see if maybe this group will grab it. Perfect. How's their tank looking? I can heal him. He looks fine anyway, though. There you go, bud. So it's going to spawn a minute and a half after Garnel does. Sever, this is strictly loot. We just wanted to get 2 rings and maybe some boots. I'm not asking them for help because, you know, like, it's convenient for me, right? But I could have zoned out, zoned back in, and been back here way before the 20-minute respawn is up, you know? So I would have been fine. But I'm like, if I can save that effort and just like bring it to them and let them have it, I'll do that. Nice. Congrats, Ender. Hey, Wolf P99, how's it going, dude? A nice emote you have there. Ooh, Superman, I'm interested. I'm gonna read this information about your problem here. Huh. That is so strange. So something in all of that must have been like corrupting the file or something. That's crazy. But I'm glad you got it fixed and you didn't have to uninstall your whole operating system or wait till you got your laptop. So that's great. Did you go into Tux and just do like a big victory lap? Yeah, it's always weird. Like, a lot of times GMs are totally clueless. So we're actually in a really good spot now for the rest of this camp. Now that we have the split here, Garnel or PH will pop first. We'll pull it into this hallway, and we'll never have to deal with this terror again. You know, I played 1 or 2 MUDs way back in the day, but I was like such a little kid. I don't think I could appreciate what was happening so much. Like the first one I played was like in DOS or something. I'd love to go back and mess around with one still. It'd be cool if there was like an active MUD community for some game. Dang, I didn't know they did monthly subs for muds. Yeah, I think I'll give it another Garnel to try for boots. We've got it in a really good spot now, Nils, because I could just pull him into the hallway there and not have to deal with any ads or any BS. Now that Garnel is going to respawn before the Terror. Though I can only do one more Garnel. I've only got one more Midnight Mallet. Wolf P99, what is ALS? Aim to win, I would not like your platinum. Thank you for the offer, though. You should find one of the GM names and parcel it to them. Wolf, I have played on P99 green. I've got a Necromancer and a Shadow Knight on there. I just stuck around, basically did like the Lady Fox and Nagafin raids. Got some Rubicite and then bounced. It was cool, I enjoyed it a lot. I wouldn't be opposed to playing P99 again in the future. She's gonna spawn in 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes. Railburn, thank you for the follow. Oh, no, I never played with ALS, but I heard about them. Somebody was talking about it in chat a little while ago. What's up, Liak? It's going good, man. As you can see, we are down here doing the most dangerous camp in Unrest, and we have gotten 2 jagged bands so far. So, Sever, are you doing a duo or are you going solo? That's awesome, man. Are you going to stream it? I know you stream some other games. I would love to watch. Solo Bard could be super hype. Are you going to do the No Melody challenge? The Carpal Tunnel run? Gonna take this just so I can destroy the body. 21 minutes on that guy, okay. She's gonna spawn in 15 seconds or less. Don't be a werebat. Actually, I'm gonna back up in case it's a werebat. Didn't even have time to self-buff. Feels good. See, this is nice because this camp has made the first 20% of level 36 basically feel like I didn't grind at all, which is going to make 36 feel a lot faster overall when we start grinding it out. So this is the only spawn right here that we have to worry about. Ooh, maybe that monk. I think the group's going to kill that monk. They've been pulling a lot of this stuff. I mean, obviously it's not an issue for me to kill a green monk, but I'm going to pull Garanel. I need to fight him like right in this spot here so nothing else has line of sight, and so the mob that's there won't have line of sight. And then we'll be gravy. Hopefully we get another Garanel. We've had 3 back-to-back Garanel spawns. 1 another group got, 2 I've gotten. Still no Ivy Hoop. Though we haven't had any more attempts at Ivy Hoops. We haven't found Linuga up. But this is going to be our last Garanel whenever, you know, whichever spawn is Garanel is going to be our last one because we only have 1 more charge on this mallet. Now that I have no charges of mallet available, as we're jogging through South Row, we're going to run into the Ancient Cyclops. Watch. I have 4 rubies right now, but when I sell this, actually, not true. I spent a bunch of plat buying more bandages. When I sell my my 0 charge mallet, it's gonna get me 70 plat. So we'll be kind of close to getting a 5th ruby. Four and a half minutes. Yeah, I'm trying to get the Evander's Hoop, mostly for the Spirit Tap charges. But also it's a huge upgrade for me, of course. Ivy Hoop is 6 AC. I mean, just that alone is good enough for me. 6 Wisdom, 6 Int, 6 HP, and Spirit Tap. Ender, you're in the chat, right? What's the rarity on this thing? Oof. That's a lot of zeros. 3 and 149. 1 and 11, 1 and 6. That's big yikes. So that's the chance of getting an Evander's Hoop by turning in a ruby. The left number is the number of rubies he got when he went to turn a few in, and the right number is the total number he turned in. So he turned in 24 rubies, he got 1 hoop. Turned in 2, got 1. Turned in 17, got 0. On the whole, he has gotten 5 hoops for 226 rubies. Ah, there's the trick. You got to do it during the nighttime. She only gives Ivy Hoops between the hours of 2 and 3 a.m. game time. All right, we're at 2 minutes. Dude, what if I tag him and he tries to run through the pit instead? I might need to lull this too. I don't think so, Leok. I didn't know that was a thing ever, though. I'm certainly not going to try to find out. The pit looks like it's mostly clear. All right, Garinell's in 20 seconds. Five seconds. Hag. Come on, get in here. So it's a 16.5-minute respawn timer in here right now. It's not terrible. This guy's due basically any time now. There we go. I'm gonna leave him up for at least 8 minutes. And if that group doesn't pull him by 8 minutes, I'll grab him. Yeah, I'll wear the boots. It's a small AC loss, 2 AC I think I lose, but I gain like 2 or 3 strength, some dex. I'll get to sell my fine plate boots, which will be a bunch of plat too. So this spawn is just a couple minutes away, I think. 5 minutes? We got 5 minutes on the hallway spawn here. Ooh, Grieg's End, okay. Nice to get a different one. So Grieg's End is well, aptly named. It's where Grieg's kind of journey on Luckland ended. But Grieg was a geomancer with the Combine Empire. He came up when Elsiakata and the Loyalists, I think the faction is called, the Loyalists fled from Seru. And then once they were there for a little bit, he started trying to find a way to get them home. I want to say that it was actually Grieg's magic which got them to Luckland in the first place. And it wasn't his intention to get them ported to the Nexus, but the Nexus kind of draws everything in. It's got that quality to it, so he ended up there. Anyway, he did a ton of research, specifically on the Spires and teleportation magic to try to find a way to get his people back to Norath. That was his end goal. He eventually was trying to make his own spires. So that's why when you go into Grieg's room, if you actually go all the way up there, you'll see he's got spires. They look similar, but like slightly different texture than the ones that you see around the world. Still have a little time here. Anyway, eventually Grieg reached out to the goddess Luckland himself, or herself, and asked for guidance. He asked for her to show him how to get the people home, how he could master the magic of the spires. And she gave him so much knowledge that it drove him mad, which is kind of par for the course when it comes to the goddess Luckland. Like, she does the whole monkey's paw thing. You ask her for something, she gives you that thing in a way that you did not intend. So he actually does know how to get people home. He knows how to transport people back to Norath. But he's kind of imprisoned in his own mind, in his own insanity. And as a result, he kind of just creates all the crazy chaos that you see in Grieg's End. The Servitor of Luckland that is in there, in that zone, it's another mini-boss there, is actually sent there by the goddess Luckland herself to kind of watch over Grieg. And it wasn't necessarily their intention that he be straight up insane. That's just kind of how he is now. Grieg, being more powerful than the Servitor, locked the Servitor in a room. That's why you have to get a key to even deal with the Servitor. So that's the story. Basically, Grieg knows how to get them home. He got the knowledge he wanted, but it drove him mad. And now he's a permanent prisoner in his own little fortress there. "10 minutes exactly on the next name spawn. Yeah, I think that's supposed to represent the manifestation of his insanity. Like, to some extent, those mobs may be the manifestation of the the illusions that he's seeing, the things that are haunting his mind, are in some way actually being manifested in the world inside Grieg's End. And for that reason, each player sees them as a different thing, because they are a product of raw insanity. Hopefully you enjoyed your lore there, Nils. All right, we should have a spawn like sometime pretty soon here, I think. Yeah, I like the Akivans too. Someone's selling open world loot rights to Valorium gauntlets. Sad. That's kind of worst case scenario spawn here. Like all I can do is auto attack this guy. I really don't like that knockback. He can proc it from ranged, like it's not a melee proc. Fizzle, 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 interrupt. Kill me, dude. No, literally don't, though. Yep, I'm 36. No, I soloed them at 35, Karsa. Got a nice proc there. Please don't run. This is super bad. I just know Garanel's gonna spawn. There's nothing we could do but swing for the fences. I just need one good round. I'm doing the Paladin thing. Alright, there we go. Dead. Yeah, Karsa, I wasn't sure about it, man. I wasn't sure about it. I went there right after someone had finished camping it, so the spawn was broken already. But I soloed an Evencon Wizard, which brought me down to like 7 or 5%. Like it was right on the line. If I didn't get my round off, he would have nuked me and killed me. Supplier was very hard. The first assassin spawn actually had a dagger, so that was super bad because he was backstabbing me for full backstab damage from the front and proccing. Yeah, I actually sat on the ladder the whole time, so I was able to, monitor the camp really closely without being in any kind of risk. What's up, Big Maze? How's it going, dude? My boy, Admiral Showtime. Thanks for the sub, bro. Admiral Showtime is a variety streamer who's a good friend of mine. If you're into that sort of thing, I think he's playing The Last of Us 2 right now. Feel free to check his stream out. You get a lot of good drops, Maze. Riker, what's going on, dude? We are doing Garanel Ruxif right now. I figured we had to follow up last night's stream with something also very dangerous. Kyle Thomas Reagan, thanks for the follow. I assume that the PH or Garanel are up right now. No, we actually have 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, I will gain 40% EXP, or 40% of my mana. Dang, Riker. Yeah, right, it's not that great anymore, but man, it feels good to get something so rare. 2 minutes, 40% EXP, you know. So Karsa, the thing that really enabled me to do that camp though was that I was burning charges of my Midnight Mallet on the named spawns. The Ghoul Assassin that had the dagger and the Ghoul Supplier, I popped slow on both of them. The one that didn't have a dagger, we didn't slow because we saw that he was pretty easy. It's just like being a rogue NPC, he doesn't have a lot of health, and without the dagger he can't backstab, so he's just kind of like a bad warrior. Having to use greater healing is going to hurt my mana a lot too. Alright, we got 30 seconds on the spawn. If it's a hag, we could just kill it as is, basically. But if it's Garanel, we gotta wait. Sephir, I didn't check it out, but I will soon. Yeah, it's the Midnight Mallet. I've got one charge left on mine, which I plan to use on the next Garanel spawn. There he is. Hopefully no one comes and jacks him. If someone tries to grab him, I might try to intercept with a nuke. But it could be really dumb, because he's been getting us very close to death every fight. What's my mana at? 63%. It's going to take me just under 2 minutes to get full mana here. My Endure Magic's going to fade, but I don't really need it for this fight, so we'll be fine with that. No, Zero. It was the cracked Darkwood Shield. I had 175 placeholders on a 7-minute and 30-second timer. What's up, Oin? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh yeah, Banestrike is immense, dude. Because it can proc on nukes, it can proc on my bash. I mean, it's only going to proc every so often, like on a set timer. But it's a huge amount, especially when you factor in like how low my DPS is. If I was a better DPS class, it wouldn't be a big deal. But as a Paladin, it represents a statistically significant part of my overall DPS strategy. Yeah, Karsa, I can't buy anything from players. I only take things I can craft myself. Oh yeah, boosted. You could trivially do that box combo to 50. I can't. Only shamans can do alchemy. Those potions are forever out of range for me. This is close enough. Oh, he resisted slow. We're gonna go for it, but this is super bad for us. That's not cool, Monk. What the fuck, dude? There's LOH. We got this. Oh, what's up, Liak? Sucks we didn't get the boots, but we made big gains by getting these 2 rings. Met up for an IVU before we rolled out of here. Yeah, that kind of went... That's how EQ goes, right? Like, you get many bad things all at once. He resisted slow, and that's the time that we get trained. Yeah, man, that was good. That was fortunate for us. Those light healing potions were not doing it, though. I expected them to have a much bigger impact, and they were not super helpful. Yeah, I wonder about that, Liak. Oh, yeah, it's 10 AC for both rings. Let's check it out. And this was my old ring. Silver amber in a crystal ring. I assume that he didn't intentionally train me. I assume it was actually an accident. Like, if he really wanted to kill me, he would have dumped the mortuary funguses on me. Liak, I would target you and wave, but there's too many bodies in the way. Hey, cheese in my pants. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, that's right. Undead aggro is a little bit different than normal aggro. Alright, we got 27% EXP out of that. God, look at all these bodies. My body will never be one of them. It's not a big loss. Like, our rings were a really bad slot that we needed to get a big upgrade for. Our boots are pretty good, so it doesn't hurt us so much, you know? Yeah, Sever, if we ever get another hammer, we'll come back to Unrest and we'll do this again. I'll keep trying for those boots occasionally. I kind of like seeing the bodies. When I first walked into Unrest today, though, it was like lagging me out. It was weird. There's so many corpses. Top myself off really quick. So now we're gonna, maybe we'll end up with enough plat for a ruby. Sort of doubt it, but we'll see. And after that, it's back to the depths of Guck. So Setver, you said that you went human, or you went half-elf, right, for the bard? Oh, dang, Leok, I didn't know. That must be why there's so much lag. Do you have an idea of like any early quests or anything you're gonna try to do? Or like some leveling route ideas? Next Seliup, thanks for the sub, bro. Very much appreciated. Nick Seliup, you are our 120th subscriber. Ooh, these battle axes sell pretty well. Oh, you know what felt bad, guys? Before the stream started, I ran to Unrest to check this whole thing out, and I had my keys banked, and they do not key ring. Confirmed. That big 70 plat. Rest in peace, Mallet. You did good work for us. We are exceedingly close to buying another ruby. We can now afford one more ruby. Our buddy Vamar out here, potentially working on that really rare goblin spawn, it looks like. Yeah, bind and gate, super nice. But I'm definitely going to be envious of your cello speed. I think I'm going to be like 5 gold short on this next ruby, and I'm going to end up just selling this potion of light healing. Dang, dude, you know what? We're so dumb. I'm just gonna say it's because I wanted to sell. Oof, showtime. Talking about how long I've played it is gonna hurt my feelings. I started playing this in 1999, and outside of a break from, I took a 6-year break, but I have played it ever since. Pretty much all the time. It's probably saved me a lot of money over the years because I haven't had to buy new games. I played up to House of Thule. Yeah, House of Thule is the newest stuff I've done. Dude, it's crazy. So like, you know, people in chat always, you know, I give you guys a lot of lore information and stuff. We can spend the points and get lore information, etc. Back in the day, dude, I remember being a little kid, like walking around stores with my mom, and I would be talking her ear off about EverQuest lore. And I'm sure she was like, in her mind, just being like, please shut up. But she entertained it. That's crazy, Riker. But here's the thing, like, you've played the best content in EQ. There's still a lot more out there that's worth playing. But if you had to pick 6 expansions to spend your whole life in, you know what I mean? You picked the right ones. Omens of War is really good, but it's super easy now, dude. It's not like the old days. Like, the mechanics by modern standards are just brain dead. And you can like straight up ignore the mechanics a lot of times. Like, you don't have to click your OMM masks, you just tank through it. But I really like it. It's like a lore, very like flavorful expansion, which is really good. There's always like that cool moment when you walk up to Overlord Madamaram and you hail him, and he's like, "Oh, so you are the mighty god slayers." Man, that feels so good when he says that to you. Like, just the thought that this legendary being that travels the cosmos, slaying gods and enslaving planets, recognizes you. So cool. Uh-oh, Plane of Justice, specific lore, okay. Alright, so the Plane of Justice is the domain of the Tribunal and the Seventh Hammer. There they keep some of the most notorious criminals from Norath, though being that they are true neutral, they tend to function off of like relativistic moral standards. So the saying goes that you go there for breaking the laws of the society which you represent. Usually it's kind of like betrayal related. There's a lot of stuff you can do that gives you lore tidbits from all sorts of different areas and factions and parts of Norath in Plane of Justice. So there's not like one overarching thing that I would want to talk about there, but that's kind of the overview of what I know about POJ. Planes of Power, this is going to be crazy to some of you guys. Planes of Power is my least favorite EverQuest expansion. I really do not like it. No, Ender. Bobby had a level 1 Soul Fire. Let me get you guys. I'm gonna read the thing that OMM says to you. There's another time in EQ where that happens too. When you meet Jalad Dar in Dragon Acropolis for your Sleeper's Tomb key. So like Jalad Dar technically tricks the players into going into Sleeper's Tomb, but he recognizes you. He says, he's like, oh yeah, you'll get into Sleeper's Tomb by doing this quest and getting this key. It's not unlike the process for getting into my old home, Vishan's Peak. And then he laughs and he says like, oh, did you think I didn't know that you guys had been there? And that should be like a huge hint to the players basically, because like this is like Jalad Dar is like a dragon supremacist, you know what I mean? He hates the lesser races. If you follow the lore, he literally died in Field of Bone. His bones are the ones that are in Field of Bone. And you went into Vishan's Peak and killed his daughter, Faradar, and he knows it. And people still like go to Sleeper's Tomb and wake the Sleeper. Like the plot logic is that he tricked you into going, not that you went for the fat loot. So when you hail OMM, he says, so, you are the mighty god killers. I am not surprised you managed to make it this far. I did expect there to be more of you. Do you really think so little of me? I have destroyed worlds where animals roam with power that would cause your gods to tremble. And then when you ask him about the worlds, he says, you would have made fine additions to my army, were you not so willful. Prepare yourself for power beyond your greatest nightmares. But it really lends that feeling to the world that you are impacting it, and great beings know who you are. You know, the thing with Planes of Power, dude, is like, I'm not crazy about how it looks. I think no god better represents what I dislike about Planes of Power than Myth Mar. He looks kind of dumb, dude. Look at the model for Nathaniel Mar and tell me he doesn't look like he would be more well placed in World of Warcraft. Dang, dude, Leok, look at you, big Leok, keeping me honest. There we go. All right, so while we're here, we want to swing by the jeweler and buy a ruby. Oh yeah, definitely zero. I think Shadow Knight would be way better. Shadow Knight has Snare, which is like such a game changer. They've got Fear, I think. They've got Feign Death, which means they can always just kind of split things out if they need to. They've got a Pet, which means they can Pet pull. Their life taps do about the same amount of damage that my Undead nukes do, but they also heal them for half that damage, and they're not restricted to Undead, which means they don't have to do the kind of Undead treadmill that I've done. Granted, they're not as mana efficient, but I mean, it's a heal at the same time, so it kind of makes sense. There's pros and cons. It's nice to be able to sit there out of combat and say, I will now heal myself. But look at what Bind Wound has done to this run. You know what I mean? If you're a troll Shadow Knight and you've got your Bind Wound skill maxed, you're not going to have any problems. Yeah, they've got Invis and IVU. Oh, man. Yeah, and that's true. Life Tap is basically unresistible. Irresistible. No, we need one more gold. Thanks, Synchronics. I know, right? How fitting. Wait a second. Was the other vendor named Ruby? How unfitting. Oh, okay. As long as she wasn't named Ruby, I'm cool with it. This is like the evil class area in Freeport now. For some reason, they just live in a big hole that's not even hidden. It's just like in the city. Local lore. Oin. Perfect timing. Okay, so local lore. Let's talk about Lucan. Sir Lucan Delir was originally an orphan that was taken in by the Knights of Truth. He's got the Darth Vader storyline where they said he was too old to start the training for a paladin, but someone believed in him, so they started him off anyway. I want to say that it was the guy who is still the guild leader in EQ1 of the Knights of Truth. I'm not sure if it did, Liak. So anyway, Lucan is taken in by the Knights of Truth. He trains to be a paladin, but he is older than you're supposed to be when you start the training. Things go on. He's all cool and everything, doing well. Eventually, there's this crusade that the knights they go on. It's called like the Crusade of Tears, and most of the most powerful knights leave Freeport, and they leave Lucan and one of the squires kind of back in the city. So they go out there, they're cleaning out the undead. The first thing they do is they go wreck all the undead in the Ocean of Tears. Then they go to Fadewar and they deal with a big horde of undead that exist deep in an unnamed part of like Lesser Fadark and the Loping Plains, which basically they're areas that never made it into the game. They supposedly did some crusading around Mistmoor and Unrest, though not enough to completely rid the place of undead. And then they come back to Freeport. Now they come back to find that it's not the same Freeport they left. While they were gone, Lucan had gotten into a disagreement with the squire that he was sharing power with there, and he was unable to control his anger, so he murdered the squire. This basically brought him fully onto the dark side. There's some suggestions that this was aided Emperor Palpatine style by Opal Darkbriar, which you'll recognize as the person who kind of is playing Freeport and Kanos against each other through the Necromancer guilds. She appears as a human in Freeport, but is actually a dark elf in Neriak. So, long story short, he's kind of influenced by her, kills the squire, and then realizing that he's going to be totally banned from the Knights of Truth when they get back, he starts recruiting members for his own militia. It used to be the Knights of Truth were the Freeport Guards, but he supplants them while they're gone in that moment of weakness, and he basically takes over the town. Now they have an uneasy, not really a truce, it's just kind of like a Cold War going on. And if you look at it in the context of the original Freeport zone, the nicer section, what was supposed to be, quote, on a hill, Rome style, was the northern section of Freeport, and that's where the Paladins controlled everything. They had their walls up there, so it was hard to take it. And in the interest of maintaining the economic power that was Freeport, they didn't very often, break out into open bloodshed. But by no means were they okay with one another. So West Freeport, East Freeport, controlled by Lucan. Especially West Freeport was Lucan's power, his bastion of power. North Freeport was Valoron, Duskshire, who was also the guy who, said, hey, Lucan, you can be a paladin even though you're too old. And then East Freeport looks like it's under the control of Lucan, but really it's under the control of the Necromancer and Rogues guilds there. And they kind of just accept that Lucan is going to be there, and as long as nobody interferes too much on either side, everyone's at peace. So that's the local lore there. Is Loping Plains in the game? I guess it was added later, right? Honestly, I don't even remember where I read individual pieces anymore. I've read every scrap of lore I can get my hands on, in-game, talking to NPCs, books out of game, other people's interpretations of the lore, so I do all sorts of stuff like that. Right. Yeah, and SOF. So the Loping Plains and the Hills of Shade were referenced long before SOF came out as an expansion in the old lore. So we know that they, that was it's part of the thing. It's funny actually that those were released in SOF at the same time as the Fortress Mechanicus, because all of those were cut content from Classic. They were all supposed to be part of Classic EQ, and they just never made it in. Well, let's see, you might think North Freeport would be the best place for a Denny's, but the people there are too uppity and probably would not want to eat at a Denny's very frequently. I would say West Freeport is perfect. You get all the adventurers coming through, but if you go to East Freeport, you're going to get robbed. So you just go to West Freeport and pay the militia fee for protection, the extortion fee. Rip, these zombies ruining my pick zone. We'll have to use the zone line trick. For those of you guys who haven't already heard, remember that on the 4th of July, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, myself, a very loving robot, Bobby Bick, Keebs, Melusine, and Pied will be getting together to do a 24 to 36 hour stream where we will level 1 through 50 totally naturally, no outside help, no outside power leveling, no extra gear. It's basically the group version of Solo Self-Found. It's supposed to emulate exactly how you would level up if you had started fresh on a brand new server and you were attempting to level up as fast as possible. So come tune in while you grill some hot dogs and stay away from COVID. We're doing that on the 4th of July at 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, Leox, so if you guys have ever been in the Kanos areas, especially the sewers, you'll see graffiti that talks about the, the brigade? The Iron Toes? The Iron Toe Brigade? That was all those early devs, the real early ones, they had a D&D campaign that they did. And those were a lot of those guys were their characters. And in fact, Valen, Tony Garcia, his character was actually Sir Lucan de Leer. There's actually an image floating around of his original character sheet from D&D of Sir Lucan de Leer. Rip. Sad to hear that, minion. That sucks. Alright. Let's roll the dice. Hopefully Linuga is up. Use our mask, just in case it keeps us from getting killed by the guards. Probably not. Yeah, I mean, EQ is just a graphical mud, and overall there's just so much inspiration that comes directly out of like D&D 2.0, 3.0. 3.0 probably came out after EQ, right? I'm not hip to like the history of D&D very much. Minion, it really depends on like how crowded the camps we target are. If we can own the camps we want whenever we want, 24 hours is how long it's going to take. Also, if we play, you know, pretty well. If we suck and the camps are crowded, take 30, 36, it's going to start getting painful. I'm totally open to folks from chat showing up to pop pick zones, though. The goal is to emulate a fresh server launch and kind of give people a peek at like how we do the power grind kind of thing. And the worst part of this is that when you do the power grind, there is no one contesting you for camps because you are so far ahead of everyone else. And unfortunately, we cannot emulate that aspect of it. It's not looking good for Linuga. Kunark is about 2 months away, Skip. Yeah, we'll have to see how the leveling goes. I wonder if playing a permadeath character for so many hours has made my playstyle like more conservative than it would normally be. Like if I'm gonna play like my mage like a scared little punk. Yeah, Ark, I definitely am a little worried about it. When we come back to the SSF, we're going to take a nice, easy day at, like, lower Guk entrance or bedroom. Right? Yeah. Hey, guys, what is your bind wound at? The worst thing is going to be the run speed. Coming back to this run speed, which feels fine right now, but soon will feel terrible. Yeah, there's a book which has nice scans of those two in it. It's interesting that the ceilings here are like different than everywhere else on the zone. Oh, look. Froglock writing. I wonder what it says. Dude, these guys have really big noses. This kind of looks like a froglock. It's got like the froglock little sash there, and it's got like the big wide open froglock mouth. Is this, you would assume that this painting, these paintings in general, would represent like the creation mythos of the froglock? Oh, what's up, Sean? Thank you so much for the raid, A Very Loving Robot. Have a good time, dude. Hey, so everyone who's just tuning in, we were just nerding out about some lore, but this is a solo self-found permadeath run, so I'm leveling 1 through 50 as a paladin with no grouping, no porting, no buffing from other players. All my items are crafted, quested, or looted by me from mobs I solo. The only vendor items I can buy must be sold by the vendor by default. And of course, if we die, it's game over, back to level 1. Right now we are level 36. We have just returned from a pretty successful trip in Unrest, where we acquired these bad boys, 2 jagged rings, or jagged bands, by soloing the final boss of Unrest, Garanel Ruxif. Uh-oh, minion, local lore. Froglocks, okay. Skip sandwiches, yeah, this is my first SSF. Alright, so Froglock local lore, we touched on this a little bit last night, so if you were here watching that, this will be a little rerun for you. But the Froglocks were created by, Nathaniel Marr. The legend has it, the Froglock legend is that he cried a tear into the swamps and it formed the Froglocks and gave them sentience. So after that, they took up refuge not very far in the nearby cave system, which we now know as Guck. They are a goodly race, or at least neutral, and they are super opposed to the trolls, which they see the mere existence of the trolls to be an offense against nature. So for a long time, the Froglocks and the trolls were at war. Sometimes it was very active. Sometimes it was kind of just, you know, we'll kill you when we see you. But eventually, now there's multiple theories and stories about how this happened. One of them is what I'm going to go over right now. Eventually, a female troll, worshiper of Inaruk, a shaman, plunged deep into the bowels of Guck, fighting off many a Froglock to get there. And then as she was being slain by the many Froglocks who had overwhelmed her, she cried out to Inaruk not to save her, but instead to avenge her and to curse the Froglocks who had killed her and tormented her people. Inaruk, happy to oblige, reportedly inflicted the undead curse upon the Froglocks, giving birth to the first Froglock ghouls. That trapped the Froglocks in a situation where they are fighting their own former comrades from below, the Froglock ghouls, and the zombie menace, as it were, and from above they're fighting the trolls, keeping them pretty much preoccupied and preventing them from ever spreading too far. Another theory is that the Ghoul Lord was formerly a Froglock, normal old Froglock, and he was doing research into some necromantic magic while seeking to increase his power. Something went wrong with a ritual he was doing and unleashed the undead plague upon the Froglocks, and that's how they became undead. I tend to believe that one. I tend to believe that he inadvertently opened up a portal to the plane of disease, because the fire pots in the Ghoul Lord room are very unique, and they've got the symbol for Bertoxilus on them. Also, Bertoxilus is heavily associated with the undead. And last but not least, now here's the real clincher in my opinion. There are 4 Froglocks in the Kainos Catacombs. Why would there be Froglocks so far from Guck? And they have the Guck Froglock faction as well. 3 of them are just normal ones. You've probably seen them down there by the Cubert spawn. But there's another one, a very rare froglock that can spawn by the smugglers named Monsarna. And when he is killed, he drops an undead froglock tongue, despite being a living froglock. I think that there's a chance that because they had to deal with a plague from Bertoxilus, the froglocks have attempted, henceforth, to monitor activities of those individuals who worship Bertoxilus, perhaps seeking to stop similar events, or perhaps seeking a cure for their own affliction. And what is in Kano's catacombs? Well, the Bloodsabers, who worship Bertoxilus. So it all kind of wraps up nice and tight if you go with the Bertoxilus theory. And that's why they sent their little unit there to explore the catacombs, to investigate the Bloodsabers. Hey, we got a lot of follows during that. Thank you so much. Cretan, Grix, Acno, Bergtooth. Thank you guys so much for the follows. Love to see people showing up and supporting the stream. Yep, the Kanos Necromancers are Bertoxilus faction. Some of it you put together, and the rest I don't really remember. I've read so many different lore things over the years that it's hard for me to cite specific sources most of the time. I do own all of the EQRPG books, and so I reference those frequently. I have the Maps of Myrist, which I read. I've done a lot of hails and quest lines and talking in-game as well, and all that kind of stuff helps. But some of the things you just have to try to think critically, and you're never going to get a firm answer on. Like seeing the fire pots in the room with the Ghoul Lord and the symbol for Bertox on those fire pots. You know what I mean? That's just kind of like putting 2 and 2 together, but it could be totally wrong. I think you can't trust any of the evil gods to be allied with one another, really. I think they'll work together to stop the machinations of the good or neutral deities, but in the end, they would all be willing to backstab one another once a greater threat was resolved. Core, thank you for the follow. Are you talking about it in the canonical sense arc? Do we count the Velius revamp as another round against CT? Kuntark, thank you for the follow. I assume your name is inspired by Kunark. Darton, I think you're just talking about the lore of the world, the history of the world. Right? Baldric Bagthalos, thank you for the follow. Wasn't part of House of Thul's storyline that he was dead? Don't you deal with his shade or something? I forget how it goes. Kadarin Woogie1, thanks for the follows, guys. Yeah, the intro lore talks about just kind of how things happened in order. Vishan found the world. She marked it with her claw. She didn't care about any of the other gods or anything, and she deposited her brood there because it seemed like a suitable place. Brel, having discovered this, then wants to... Oh, watch this. Nice solo pool. Brel wants to keep Vishan in check, so he invites Tunair, Relos, Zek, and Prexis to Norath and says, hey, like, she put dragons here, let's kind of, you know, make our own guys. It's basically what Brel does. They meet in Dagnor's Cauldron, they all make races. Relos Zek actually rejects the deal and does his own thing. And then there's a series of additional packs that Brel coordinates to bring more and more gods into the deal. I think right now in EQ1 we are in what's called the Age of Turmoil. Oh, what's up, Truman? Long time no see, dude. The website Lore of Norath or EQ Lore, I forget which one. Just put like EQ Lore in there, and there's like some weird WordPress website, and you can query any term and find most documents in the game that had lore related to it. I find it's very helpful when I'm trying to refresh. Thanks, Tordan. If you do !UI in the chat, you can see the UI that I'm actually using. It'll have a nice link there for you. Feels nice to finally have greater healing. So honestly, man, I really don't have a game plan now. Like, I guess the plan for tonight is just to get level 27 or 37. This room is really tough because there's so many bats. Just soothe this guy and target them. Yeah, Grix, this is a deep water harpoon. Blow half my mana bar soothing these things. Chat, I know I used the wrong 2 there. Don't worry. It was a typo, not stupidity. Hey, Tyler, thanks for the follow, dude. Oh, nice, we got a proc on our PGT. Oh man, yeah, Kith at night is actually a decent option. Seems very dangerous, but it'll be nice when we get sick of this for sure. Is there any good loot for a Pally in Kith at night? Nice one, Ublis. DC raid boss, I don't know, man. We just get lucky, dude. You should watch some of the VODs. We've had a lot of close calls. If you do !purple, you can see 2 times during this run where we went into the purple club. We went to negative HP and still survived. Yeah, the Whizzed Mace, I guess, but it's like, it's not really an upgrade for me, right? A lot of harm touches out there. I've got a 5-minute highlight from last night's stream where you get to see all the fun encounters. Let me grab that for you guys. So for the folks who weren't here last night, we did the assassin and supplier camp, and boy was that a fun, wild ride. There you go. There's a link to that. That bat is like oddly out of place. Should be a little bit back. All right, this will be a good spot, but we need to get some more mana before we mess with it. Whew, a lot of follows coming in. Arid Moore, hopefully I said that correctly. Arid Moore, thank you for the follow. DC Raid Boss, thanks bro. House of Yer, appreciate the follow. A lot of activity tonight, guys. Thank you so much. What's up, Ostrich? How's it going, dude? Yeah, Agony. My plan is to do Undead to 50 at this point. My DPS when I'm not fighting Undead is so bad. It's painful. It's very painful to do. Jonesing87, thanks for the follow. Yeah, DC, I'm doing 1 through 50 with Robot and Bobby Bick and some others. Keebs on Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, glad to hear that. Yeah, Lower Guck is a lot of fun. I mean, it's tough solo, and it's scary because every mob can pretty much root me, so that'll be tough. Like, if I get rooted, we're gonna end the whole run, almost, if it's at a bad time. I'm using the classic spell effects, Acno, which you can get by going into your Everquest directory and deleting the 2 spells new files. Pew Pow, that was my guy. Alright, this wizard, I would love to kill that. I need him to path back into that room a little bit. Oh, man. How'd he get only 1 ice bone? This guy has every buff. He's got all the buffs. Alright, IVU's not breaking. It's like, it sucks for him to have gotten that ad, but also, how in the world did he only get 1? What could go wrong, chat? 2 wizards? Easy. We resisted root, that's good. Not because I care about his instill so much, but if he can't instill me, he'll keep trying. And rooting me is not damaging me. Is all this damage? Yeah, this is all melee that I'm taking right now. Going for that last minute instill. Didn't get it, boys. So we gotta be careful. There's a path. Oh, I guess he was the pather that we just killed. There's a spawn that'll be right there. It looks like the guy who's in the ass sub camp is clearing that, so that's good for us. Greater healing won't fully heal us right now, so it's good to use. There we go. Yeah, Leok, if I had gone for that right then, oh, what a nightmare. Yeah, Grix, I want to do the Ghoul Bane, but it's been so camped every time I've gone there. So you soloed him untwinked. That's really good. What did you do about his heals? Because you have to work through his lay on hands and then his healing spam. Maybe that's what we'll do when we get back from the 1 through 50 stream. We'll just do the Ghoulbane for a day to cool down, get back to being like a mere mortal. Desmatic, thanks for the follow. Okay, so it was all about that stun spam. Oh, Big Nitsude, what's up, man? Long time no see. Very happy to see you here. Grix, I was thinking about rooting him in place and then just backing up and hoping he'll spam stuns on me. Did he stun you at all? Like, what spells was he casting? Was it only healing spells? Like, my plan right now is to pull him to the zone line so he's solo. I'm going to hit him with a Pumice to strip his buffs. I'm going to hit him with my slow mallet so he's slowed. And then we're just going to duke it out. So Nits, we're playing a solo self-found Pally 1 through 50. I can't take any buffs or heals. I can't join any groups. It's permadeath, so if I die, we restart from level 1. And all my items are quested by me, crafted by me, or looted from mobs which I have soloed myself. Okay, I definitely got a Pumice first. So I think I can taunt pull this guy down without getting the ad. Galaxy brain. It's like, we're gonna try this, and if it fails, hundreds of hours of our playtime is wasted. If it succeeds, we'll get 2% EXP. Say goodnight. So I'll let the spawn split up a little bit now. I don't know if this blocks line of sight. I assume it does, but man, it would suck to be wrong. We've been trained twice, Nits. Yeah, Viral, there's a highlight vid from last night where you can see us fighting like all the big named that we did at the camp. I'm probably good right now. I'm gonna go up there while I still have Berserker Strength on to take one of the hits. What I could do if I wanted to be really safe is just camp this right here. Never get any ads, just 2 mobs, split them up half and half, and you never have to worry about anything again. Oh yeah, don't worry, we're not going to do that. That could be something I might do like off stream though, when I'm not trying to entertain anyone. That's actually crazy, Grix. I didn't expect him to cast Light Healing at all. But if Light Healing is really the best he can do, then we should have no problem. I'll probably go for him. I mean, I at least need a mallet before I can attempt him. Where did you fight him? Did you fight him at his spawn point? Big chill, it's going really well. Yesterday we crushed Assassin Supplier, we got ourselves a Dark Elf Mask, we got ourselves a Light Burlap Sack. Today we wrecked Garanel Ruxif to get 2 Jagged Bands. No luck on the boots, but big upgrade here still. Time to split these wizards. He rooted me here. Yeah, I want the Icebone Skeletons so bad, dude. But I know it's gonna kill me. It's like you see something shiny, you just want to pick it up. They're taunting me. All these undead. Fresh for the taking. They're always up. Yeah, dude, that was the most stressful part of the whole night, dude. I thought it was over. For a moment, fighting that wizard, I was like, all right, well, we're about to die. We're going to have to re-roll. Everyone's going to think it's boring watching a stream of a level 1 SSF character again. It's going to be terrible. And then he died first, and I was like, oh, sweet. Dude, when he first hit me and I saw the little knockback, I was waiting for it. So the next split will be a little tricky, but I think last time we did this, we learned a good lesson. Okay, greater healing. Let's get it together. Thank you. We're gonna sue them both again, and then we're gonna tag this guy, and hopefully we don't get that guy at all. Rip, Ranger Gate. It's classic, though. Did you do it on purpose, or did you just happen to die? What level are you? Nice. Hey, that's pretty good. I guess you're playing on P99. Man, we're getting that chat lag right now, guys. This server must have a big pile of people on it. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Uh-oh. LOH is down for 1 minute. We popped DA. We're running out of second chances here. Yeah, I'm human. Man, that sucks. The idol is rare here. Yeah, I was a mage DC raid boss. Not really. I'm trying to think of good MR gear. Like, I've got the bloodstained shoulders. That's probably like the best piece I can easily get. Let's go check on the Shin Lord. I'm sure it's camped, but we'll see. Does the Crescent Helm doesn't have MR, does it? Yeah, so what you need to do is you need to bypass the login patcher Acno. It'll always repair your files if it detects something is out of order there. Wait, I went the wrong way. I think our gear right now is pretty close to best in slot for what we can actually do ourselves. Yeah, Google should show you. The gist of it is you're going to go into your EQ folder. You're going to make a copy of Everquest EXE. And then you are going to take that and change the properties. In the top, like, location run thing, you're going to go all the way till right outside the quotes, and you're going to type the word patch me as one word. And then it will launch. I'll probably never be able to kill Petrofin. The stun is just too much. Yeah, I burned my idol just now. Lay on Hands was down for another minute and a half, and I had 2 wizards on me as I was trying to run out. So I had to burn the idol or else I was maybe gonna die. Alright, well on the plus side, it's just a Shadow Knight, so I can easily out DPS him. Just kidding. I might be able to do the Minotaur hero now for the hero bracer though. Man, these zoning times are ridiculous. Man, it's scary. In Lower Guck, there's just so many ways to die. There's so many times where, like, a Pather at the wrong moment is going to kill us. And our ability to do anything about it is pretty limited. Finally. Man, I don't think I could do specs right now. I need a few more levels. Few hours and Paladonius behind me has camp after me. People lining up for this. So maybe I'll get on early tomorrow morning and I'll start camping the Shin Lord. And I could do most of the camp time off stream and hopefully get a stream on for the actual Shinlord. I mean, how much does the Ghoulbane really proc, you know? Is it really going to be a game changer for me to have? I'll get to enjoy the shield AC all the time, so that'll be nice. Wait, it's an EXP group? With a real paladin here in it? Well, I think it's an EXP group because of their levels and the fact that the rest of the camp is clear. Well, look at that. I get the feeling that this is a Shadow Knight. Is he? Something dropped the Shinlord to 87 like instantly. He's not losing any HP now, though. Those shaman dots crushing him. Where's that LOH at? It's due like, oh, no LOH. He's just casting healing. Yeah, that's the Brother Z robe. This is obviously like a super twinked out monk. Leafy Greens, I didn't get the boots. I just got 3 rings. Oh, he already used LOH. It's probably just 2 people 2-boxing. It didn't look like the Shinlord was hitting that hard. I couldn't make out like every hit in the combat spam, but I didn't see anything crazy high. We can get some negative MR items. This is a song called Dark World by Mikkel, M-I-K-E-L. Alright, I don't see any Paladins or Shadow Knights in the zone. So which of the anonymous people or level 50s do we think is at the Shinlord camp? Oh, there's Arthorn. He's there. I bet you it's Arthorn. He's a Pally. Oh, Arthon. It's a bad sign. If Lanuga doesn't spawn soon, we're gonna have to go out into the swamp and just start trying to spawn her ourselves. Ender could give you like hard stats. It seems to be like less than 1% chance to get an IV hoop. So 100 rubies or so. We have turned in 4. And we have 5 more ready. All right, here we go. Well, I mean, I'm not really farming plat anymore, Grix. It's just like I make a lot of plat because I'm killing mobs that drop fine steel and raw plat and everything. Leveling up, I did a lot of platforming for smithing. I did putrid bear hides, putrid rib bones, willow wisps, bandit sashes, and then in the mid range, we did a lot of high keep guards. I think those were all our big plat sources. It must be a nightmare if a raid mob spawns right now. Like Lady Vox spawn, you're like, oh great, we've got his zone like 3 times at least. It's weird that they don't use that slippery floor mechanic more often. It's like only a few spots where it's actually a factor. And it's usually not near anything very dangerous. Man, look at the how much less lag we have with the corpses gone. Yeah, Velx does a good job of using it. So my bind wound finally went up to 205 cap. We really want to get over 200. Once you get over 200, instead of doing 1 HP per 4 skill points, it's 1 HP per 1.5 skill points. Well, I guess that's kind of good luck, right, Riker? What do they sell for, like 1 plat? Dude, my adventurousness died with the click of my DA clicky here. Now I'm scared. Man. That's weird. They're 100 plat? I didn't remember them being so good. Oh, I'm still in combat. We should be good now. What am I thinking of that the icon is just like a little brown rope with a silver kind of medallion on it? Is that the Mithril Amulet? I mean, you're going to be KOS to the gnomes, but I don't know why you would really have to go over there very much. Oh, the Chrysoberyl necklace. Got it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Silver Amulet is the one that I was thinking of, I think, Agony. That's why I was thinking it was like 1 plat. It's actually really easy to fix your Druid faction, or your Steam font Achenon faction. You can just kill those Minotaurs. Some of the Minotaurs give you plus like 50 faction when you kill them. So if you do it now, you're gonna get plus like 100. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Gnerd. Yeah, just go in the Minotaur tunnels and you'll fix your faction in no time. She seems like she's fine. An empty bedroom camp. Silent G, okay. Nerd. Gnome. Man. Dude, that wizard thing that happened earlier straight up gave me the heebie-jeebies. I got bad vibes right now. Dang, everything is clear over here. It's like someone's like AE pooling. Alright, the skeletons are up. At least we're not in like some bizarro world where the skeletons are dead. Well, no, the combat box never really lags my client or anything. Cheesy 5000, thanks for that follow, dude. I'm gonna get that other thing as an ad. Soothe is gonna wear off. All right, we're good. Okay, so in 10 minutes, we'll probably wrap this stream up. And I see that Setfer has started his SSF Bard. So stick around, please, so we can give Setfer a big raid. And check out his fresh level 1-ish Bard. Gotta show him some support. He's always in my chat. But yeah, let's look for us to be doing the Ghoulbane tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can't sneak into a camp sometime early while there's not as many people on. And then we'll try to hold it all day until we can get a Ghoulbane. Maybe our boy Maze will show up in case someone wants to try to push us out of the camp or something. He can threaten them. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch, though. That's what I'm hoping, Grix. Like, now is the best time. It feels bad to be doing it, like, when I could be gaining such nice EXP, but at the same time, like, at least we'll have a better chance of getting the boring camp out of the way more quickly. And this content is only going to get harder and harder. Having the Ghoulbane at my side will make it easier for us to actually get to 50 in the end. If you have IVU and Soothe, Grix, it's super easy. You can get to him without fighting like one mob. Dude, this is how camps were in 1999 when there was no pick zones. It'd be like CC, like camping left stair ghoul by ritualist. Come get some. So, before we wrap this up, do we have any last-minute cool lore requests? I opened a can of worms there. Someone's going to ask for something like crazy niche that I don't know. The story behind Unrest. You know, I actually read verbatim the entire Unrest story yesterday. But here's the story of Unrest. There was a priest of Quellius. He made a temple there because there was a lot of conflict in the region. Everything went well. He was able to actually stop some of the warring. Like his area, his temple was a peaceful place where even like the orcs and the gnolls and stuff, because there were gnolls over there, would come to have peaceful discussions. And then eventually he died, natural causes, everything's cool. Later, hearing about his kind of legend, another priest of Quellius comes and builds that manor on top of the old church, which had fallen into ruin. Everything's good. The place is actually blessed by Quellius. He's got an artifact which makes it so that no one who harbors ill will towards him can enter the premises. So it becomes a place for respite for all the people in the region. There's a necromancer who really wants to get in there and kill them all. He's a follower of Khazak-Thul, but he can't get in there because the artifact stops him. But long story short, he finds this dwarf roaming around one day, and he possesses him. That dwarf was Garnot Ruxif. He goes in there, and he's able to pass because the dwarf himself doesn't have any negative intentions. He gets in there, and while everyone's sleeping at night, he kills everybody. And then Quellius kind of like curses the place, and the spirit of Gerenil Ruxif fights back against the necromancer, such that he's able to warn the dwarves of what happened. The dwarves killed the actual body of the necromancer, so he can't escape. So the necromancer became cursed to stay in the ghostly body of Gerenil Ruxif for all eternity, losing all his power. That's more or less the story of Unrest. We did Grieg's End earlier. So Grieg was a geomancer from the Combine Empire. He was the one who helped them port to Luclin when they were fleeing Seru's forces. He did not intend for them to go to Luclin, or at least not specifically to the Nexus, but that the Nexus kind of draws everything in. Once they were there, they realized they were stranded. His new goal became to find a way to return them to Norath, especially once the Combine Empire followed them there. So he studied the spires, and he studied teleportation magic, and he was trying to find a way to get past the veil, which is what separates normal mortals from being able to travel easily to Luclin. Eventually, unable to do it himself, he prays to the goddess Luclin to give him the knowledge. She does give him the knowledge, but in so doing, she drives him mad. And all the creatures and stuff that we see in Grieg's End are manifestations of his madness. That's why every character sees different animations or different models for the same mobs. Luclin still watches over the place, which is why we have the Servitor of Luclin there. She maybe didn't necessarily intend for him to go mad with all the knowledge she gave him, but nevertheless, that's his fate. He's trapped in the prison of his own mind now. King Zorb is an evil eye who rules over the evil eyes. Basically, like, King Zorb took over the Runny Eye goblins, enslaved them, and they do his bidding, which is mining. We don't know what his end goal is, I don't think, but his forces are largely overthrown by Lord Picklaw when the Picklaw goblins take over Runny Eye. That's why it's called the Liberated Citadel of Runny Eye. And they kill Borks, who was the right-hand man of King Zorb inside of Runny Eye. By the way, you might notice that Zorb and Borks are like the same word backwards. And they imprison the rest of the evil eyes. Doing that quick fire lore. We got any more? I need to get Endure Magic on so I can kill this guy. Can't pass this opportunity up. Is there lore for the arena in Lake Wrath? Dude, honestly, I think this is totally on a limb here, though. I think I read somewhere that the arena was created by the Relosians way back in the day as a place for them to hold like battles and stuff. But I could be crazy. I think the wall in Misty Thicket is just to keep out the goblins. There might be some connection to Neris, aka Siren in Plane of Sky. The phrase that you say to Siren backwards is, "I am one with the wall." You need to say that to advance through Plane of Sky. Super easy when there's not two of them. Man, I feel like you guys are really taking advantage of this. What's up, Dresden? How's it going, dude? Ooh, Erdgul Wizard could be tough. Yeah, this guy's gonna be mean. I really don't know much about Ogok, to be honest. It's a combination of like, I don't know much and I don't know if there's a whole lot to know. Unfortunately, not all lore, not all zones in EQ were like developed equally. Whew, that was a close one. Kara Isle is just the last. Oh god, someone aggro those skeletons. Kara Isle is the last refuge of the Karen people on Otis. The majority of their society was blasted, seemingly destroyed in the civil war between the Eredites, between Paniel and Erden. But in reality, they were magically transported to Luckland from the energies of the blast. And the Karens on Kara Isle have no idea that a portion of their race exists elsewhere and is advancing separately from them. Sky is kind of like a big mystery still. There's things I know, but I think it's meant to be confusing. I've used Plane of Sky as almost like a prototype version of Plane of Mischief. So maybe Nock is the zone line that was supposed to be there. Yeah, the Vashir are Kara. I don't think the Senti could destroy the Vashir. I think there's like an implicit understanding in Norath that none of the races is so powerful that it could wipe out its primary antagonists without doing irreparable harm to itself. Things are kind of in a weird state of balance, and it is us, the players, the adventurers, who tip the scales in one direction or another. They probably just didn't want to. Well, I mean, they've been separated for hundreds or thousands of years, so they would look a little different. But I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to have the same old models. There's some really good quests like that, Dresden. The Tash quest, the Staff of the Wheel. All right, guys, we have passed that 3-hour mark. It's been a really successful stream for us. We got those Garanel Ruxif kills. We had some close calls. I could go longer, but I really want to have everyone go check out Setfer's stream, so we're going to do that raid and watch Setfer do his first SSF run. Let's go check it out, guys. And here we go. Like